I remember crossing illegally. I remember us only traveling at night because it's too hot. I remember them passing the bologna packet saying, take one, pass it down, take one, pass it down. I remember getting caught on the Mexican side and them saying, hey, turn around, go home. And then I remember they're called coyotes, but the smugglers, my brother and we were making too much noise, so they're like, hey, we're gonna play a game. And if they catch us, we lose. So then we were like, okay, we're gonna be quiet. And then I remember sneaking around, and next thing you know, we ran, and I got into a truck, and then I woke up and had cereal and watched Superman in English.
Okay. So if you could, you kind of glazed over that a little bit. Walk me through that, the process of actually coming over, like what the stages or the logistics of what that was.
Well, because we were in Puebla, which is like super south, so you obviously have to take a plane as far as you can, and then a bus as far as you can, and then you meet up. And then, they all have their routes. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of it has changed, but not that much. It's not like the landscape has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just a game of catch me if you can.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who haven't been to the border or been around that area, like, you have to imagine it's a huge fucking chunk of area
Mm-hmm.
that you have to patrol. And you just have to time it right. Not get caught, and if you get caught, obviously you just get sent back, and you just keep trying.
Yeah. What's your take on that as a consequence? Do you think it should be stiffer than that? Do you sympathize with everybody in that position? I mean,
I think, well, both, because for sure there's criminals coming.
Yeah.
Right. For example, and it's not just Mexicans, because that's what people. Again, I used to think everybody knew what I know, but it's experience.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you saw a ship full of Italians or Europeans, hit New York and they all start running on? Where do you think all these people get smuggled in from?
Yeah.
All the Asians were, blacks, like, everyone goes through Mexico or Canada. So there's criminals coming, but there's good people too, because, it's a weird thing that has occurred, but this part on earth is the best place. That's America, and everybody wants to come here. It's where you can literally become something out of nothing. And if I'm not an example of that, we didn't fucking come in. We came from nothing.
Yeah.
I
think it's an amazing example that 98% of all of the kids that are born here into normal, affluent suburban environments should hear that story, because so many of them are not to their own fault sheltered, but just have absolutely zero fucking grasp of that. And I have this conversation with my kids. It feels like fucking daily, they're never going to understand it entirely until they're a little older and have seen a little more. But to me, as parents raising the next generation, it's imperative, that you try to add that perspective of saying, the times where you think your life sucks, you have no fucking idea, how there's, a disproportionate fucking percentage of young kids that are your age all over the world that would give their fucking legs to be in your goddamn position.
Me being poor but then seeing other gang members have money and cars and stuff like this, I was like, well, I want that. But I didn't want the cars, and I didn't want the jewelry. I wanted to feed my brother and my sister.
Yeah.
So I started selling weed, and then by 15 or 16, I got my first gun. I got my first bulletproof vest. But I was selling. We were all selling drugs, all the drugs. But me, mostly, I focused on weed because I didn't like the people and the times that, coke was. Like, people call you up at 1, 2 in the morning, stuff like that, and you just meet them, and they're so grimy and sketchy, and I'm like, no, man, I'd rather just deal with
the freelance drug dealer.
Yeah, I'd rather deal with, the punkers and the skaters, and I was like, I don't want to.
Well, nobody wants to fight you on weed either, usually, right?
Yeah. so we started, doing all that, and don't get me wrong, I was still buying stuff for myself, but like, I mean, cause like I still, like I said, I was a hardcore skater, and I still skate. I mean, well, people, some of them around me were buying gold chains. I was buying skateboards and skate shoes.
And were your parents not hip to, like, wait a minute, where the fuck are you getting all this money from?
Well, my dad, he would come in and out, so I wouldn't see him for years. I mean, not years. I mean, months, weeks. But my mom's not dumb. She sees who I'm hanging out with. And in the beginning, for sure, she can't deny it because I had no fucking job.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be. I did things, and not just to justify it, but I did things to feed my brother and my sister and myself. And then, because sooner or later, my mom kicked me out, so I'm on my own.
At what age?
17, or 16. I don't know, either way, but I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And I did that, but I also got a legal job. I was in charge of the shipping and receiving for a company that fixed airplane parts. So when it's a small company, but when the big companies, they would kick them small work. So when you got a little engine that came in, or not a little, but a smaller engine, comes in crates and stuff like that. So I would unload it, or once it was fixed, package it up, and then there'd be a room full of parts, and the mechanic would give me a list, like, hey, this is what I need, this, and that, and I would do that. But I mean, I would work there for 2 weeks and see my paycheck, and I would make that much in a night selling weed.
Did you go past that, other than selling drugs and having a gun and a bulletproof vest like me?
Yeah, it escalated. So as the older I got and the more street smart I became, the bigger the crimes got. Then some of the, as me trying to do things for my family, you had dudes who were doing it just because, fucking evil.
Yeah.
Or just
because they enjoyed it.
Yeah, you have home invasions. You have, I would try my hardest not to mess with what I considered innocent people. I mean, but I would jack drug dealers all the time. We could set them up for sure. Steal guns, buy guns.
Just straight rob them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are they going to go to?
Yeah. Did it ever bite you in the ass? Did you ever get...
Yeah, like 100%, because sometimes they know who you are, and sometimes they were rivals, so like you just got them, and then that's just, so as time came on, instead of me having beef with those, kids in junior high, now I got beef with grown men.
Yeah.
And
it's a different fucking story there.
Yeah, and who you steal something from, and that's just a small portion of their business, but they take it personal because it's all about respect.
Yeah.
So when I'm a 17-year-old, I'm fighting 20, 21-year-olds, 25-year-olds. Got dudes. There's guns, and it would escalate from just fighting to shootouts, and it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been stabbed in my head, and I'm wearing a hat now, but if I take it off and if I cut my hair a little bit short, you see certain bald spots.
In terms of your everyday carry, I know California is not exactly a carry-friendly state.
It's not.
I'm assuming you probably don't even have your concealed carry there. But...
You don't. Yeah. But I mean, I've been carrying guns since I was 14.
Yeah. What do you have a favorite at this point, especially?
Glock 19 for sure.
Yeah. Is it tricked out at all?
A little bit. My friend's company, he's called Empire, BPF, and he's a ranger, and he's like, hey man, he's like, I see that you go shooting a lot. Cause I started doing shooting courses, because there's a big gun culture in California.
Yeah.
Well, people think that it might be like super hippie or whatever, but I mean, it is. But there's more to that. There's millions of people, and there's a huge gun culture there.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of these big companies that go to California, and they host these courses, and I go there all the time.
Yeah.
Fieldcraft does courses. Risen Warrior, Core Vision. Core Vision is they're doing big things, and you should go, take one of their courses. But anyways, my friend would tell me, hey, I see that you go shooting a lot. You're kind of basic Glock. And well, when I
get you hooked up.
Yeah. Well, you see some of these, I mean, they're veterans and civilians, but mostly
Yeah.
I see in civilians, they got these.
Oh, I know it. It's like some
Trick-
shit out of RoboCop.
Yeah, they got these tricked out $3,000 Gucci,
Yeah.
handguns, and I'm
Yeah.
over here with my plain basic Glock 19. He's like, let me do something to it. So he, it has no sight still, but he did, and I'm gonna fuck this up because I don't really know. People think so you're in the military, you know everything about weapons, but
Yeah.
you don't. Well, basically not holes, but he cut certain pieces out of the frame,
Yeah.
and then he changed the grip up, so it's a day and night difference.
Yeah, that's cool. So do you carry it at home or around in California?
Yeah, I mean I'm an American, so I believe in being good, representing America properly, and I believe in protecting my family. That's about it.
I love it.